in the right place at the right time to benefit communities and the economy. It plays a critical role in identifying what development is needed and where, what areas need to be protected or enhanced, and in assessing whether a proposed development is suitable. So planning policy happens or is designed at a national, for us in London boroughs, at a London level, as well as at a borough level, or which we often call local authorities or local planning authorities. So you'll hear me probably use all those terms interchangeable, but I do mean your local council, your borough. At a national level, the national government sets out the planning system. It sets out all the rules, and it creates legislations as well as national standards for things such as air quality. And in so designing the system, it assigns who is responsible for which decisions throughout the process. It has released a new bill which includes reforms that are meant to ensure that planning enables sustainable development, delivering homes and jobs that the communities need, simplifies the planning system, and enables planning decisions to be taken at the lowest possible level by local people, with the involvement of local people, sorry, and ensures strong protections are in place to conserve and enhance all valuable natural and historic environment. At a London level, the Mayor of London is tasked with producing a strategic plan for the capital, which we call the London Plan. And the London Plan sets out guidance for what local plans that the borough should conform with. It also includes plans and strategies for issues affecting multiple boroughs at the same time, such as transportation. So it tries to create a baseline, but also create overarching strategies. The latest London Plan was approved in 2021, if I remember correctly. Now, at the local level, which is what we're here for, local government, so London councils, they administer much of the planning system, and that's where most of the action takes place. They're in charge of three main. We can summarize their activities in three main areas. Oh, Dineen, you're sharing the right. First of all, they produce the local plan, which is what we're going to be talking about now. They evaluate planning applications, they process planning applications, and they're also in charge of enforcing planning decisions. In terms of local plans, the local plan, as we said, is prepared by the local council or the local planning authority. It consists of a central document, which is what we call the local plan itself, but there are also related documents called supplementary planning documents. And these are developed along all the time. The local plan and all these related documents set out how the council plans on tackling local needs. They're prepared throughout a long process, which happen over several stages, including public consultation, and they're usually reviewed every 5 to 7 years. By law, they must be reviewed by every 5 years, but sometimes there are extenuating circumstances such as COVID more recently for us that can affect our timelines. The local plan is examined by an independent inspector, as we'll see later on, and approved. So we see that local action is assessed by the national government and then enforced at a local level again. And this local plan, once it is adopted by the council, becomes the basis for the planning decisions and enforcement. So we can see that the local plan is central to how areas are shaped and how government affects how an area is developed. Can we go on to the next slide, please? So having said that the local plan is central to the planning process, when it comes to an application, it is really useful to know how a local plan is prepared. I mentioned before that local plans preparing a local plan involves several stages and can take a long time, and even though they happen every 5 to 7 years. And these stages can be summarized in 4 points. I should point out also that these are the required stages, and the local council can decide to include more steps if they feel it is necessary to better understand an area or to better understand a pressure point in the borough. So the first stage is what we usually call a Regulation 18, is the pre-submission application, and this is when the council looks at its existing policies and tries to study issues such as housing, green spaces, roads, to understand what would be the ideal or what they should aim for or what should be fixed in an area. This is a consultation process, and usually it will involve residents, local businesses. It might involve organizations from around the borough that concern the borough. After this stage, the planning authority will go away, create a draft local plan, essentially. And this draft local plan then goes on to a formal public consultation. So whereas in the Regulation 18 stage, the public consultations can be a bit more informal, there are harder set rules for the Regulation 19 stage. And this is when the planning authority has created a draft local plan, and this planning document has to be published for 6 weeks for a consultation. So alongside this draft, they also prepare a document saying, these are the studies that we created to understand the situation at the different situations across the borough. These are how many people were involved. These are how they got involved. This is what they've said and how it has affected our design of the local plan. So during this 6-week consultation, everyone is able to express their views to the council. And then after these 6 weeks, the local authority will take all this feedback, make any changes they think is necessary, and move on to Regulation 22, which is when the document is submitted to the for independent examination by the inspectorate. While it's at the inspectorate, the person in charge of inspecting the draft local plan is able to hold hearings and to take further evidence and further opinions on the local plan. So we'll see. So even at this third stage, people are able to submit their views and opinions, but it is more formalized. So at Regulation 22, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but at Regulation 22, only people who have submitted formal opinions during the Regulation 19 stage are able to submit their opinions. Once the inspector has finished inspecting, as is their job, they will publish a report when they might make any suggestions they might make for the local plan to be adopted. And after that, the local council will be able to adopt the plan, and that will be formal policy against which all future planning applications are evaluated. So that's the planning process in a nutshell. Hopefully it makes sense. I think we can move on to questions now.
Perfect. I've just stopped sharing and stop recording. Hello. This video was part 3 of a 4-part series about elements of the planning system. In this workshop, we discussed local plans and how communities can get involved and make a difference. If you would like us to deliver this workshop for your community group, then please get in touch. You're also welcome to watch the other videos in this series and to get in touch with us if you would like us to take on a case that looks at those topics. Thank you.